I was 15 years old, and it was my first job. I ran all the little errands for the office, made small deliveries, stuff like that. But mostly, I made tea. I used to make tea for everyone in the factory. See, my mother found a job in the factory in which she worked for me before I came, because on arrival in England, I had to show proof of employment. She left for England with no experience, not knowing anything about the country or other places. The only place she knew anything about was her hometown of Cornuda, Treviso, Italia. She was 26 and she was all by herself in a strange land. She had heard about an agency hiring girls and a ship heading to London, and she thought, maybe I can find a job as a housekeeper, or, any job would have been a good job for her at the time, and so she left. Those were such hard times, and my mother was a single parent in the 1950s. Well, that was unusual in those days and frowned upon. I don't remember my mother ever telling me that she loved me. In fact, she didn't want people to know about me. That I was her daughter, that she had a daughter. She used to call me sister. Her sister. She said I was her sister. And I had to call her Maria. The shame of being a lone mother. Then within a year or so, she found a job for each of her 4 brothers, and so they came to England. 1 furnished room for me, my mum, and my uncles. She was a hard worker. We all worked so hard, but she always said she wanted to go back to Italy with enough money to buy a house, showing people that she was her own independent woman. Yeah, she was a really hard worker, and she was a really heavy smoker too. She smoked constantly, a cigarette either in her hand or balanced in the corner of her mouth. Friday was payday. It always felt so special. It meant sardines and buttered bread on the table. A feast back then. By the age of 20, it's quite late, I started to show an interest in boys. I could happen to meet them on the way to work in the morning or after work, on the way back home, or when Maria, my mother, wasn't around, because she didn't want me to have any male friends. There were 2 boys I still remember so clearly. One was John and Richard. And these 2 boys would come to my doorstep when my mother wasn't around and ask me out every Saturday night. And I don't know, I was a really good-looking young girl. I was. And I really felt that this was the right place for me to be. And just when I began to feel at home, felt British, my mother decided to send me back to Italy. 1963, I was 21, and I believe that, keeping an eye on me for my mother was maybe too hard to handle. That's what I like to think. So I went back to Italy, and then I got married.